Hi folks, this is all the fruit and I decided to make yet another of those what I eat today videos, or you could also call it what I forage today videos. I noticed that most of us we eat a very restricted diet, no matter that there are a lot of exotic and even tropical fruits in each supermarket and there is a big selection of fast food shops and ethnic restaurants. Mostly people put the same ingredients in their food, so if you don't have the place or the time or the money to grow your own stuff, then foraging is your friend. This is all stuff I foraged on the Heidelberg University campus in early October. Well, Heidelberg University campus excluding the Botanic Garden. Yeah, the Heidelberg University campus is quite a diverse park, so maybe in a normal German or European park or temperate park you will find less different species of fruits. But yeah, of course I made a video in a place which is quite diverse. So if you ask, does he really eat so many different things every day? Well, no. Firstly, I don't have time to forage every day. I also have to work, although my work is also kind of farming, but not always with so many different things. Secondly, well, usually at each time of the year, yeah, you can maybe nibble so many different fruits, but usually during each foraging trip you will concentrate on either 1 or maybe 5 or 6 really prolific fruits. Well, of course you can also forage some vegetables and nuts together with the fruits, and most of the nations which are called primitive by people like us who go shopping in the mall and eating in the fast food, they would also collect all types of small animals or hunt small animals on a foraging trip. So this is a foraging trip restricted to fruits and nuts, since my channel is called All the Fruits. Some of those things can also be used as salads or for other purposes, but let's see what I have today. Well, starting with the black nightshade and the yellow nightshade. The black nightshade is quite common throughout temperate areas. The yellow nightshade in Central Europe, it's kind of a specialty of the city of Heidelberg. I don't know any other place in Central Europe where the yellow nightshade is that common. By the way, the Africans, they don't use the berries so much. They use the whole plant as a bitter spinach. Flowering quince. Nice stuff. I talked to somebody from, where was it, Latvia or Estonia recently. They don't even call them flowering quince, they call them quince because the big quince which grows on trees doesn't grow in such cold areas, so for them this is the normal quince. Chestnuts, also a very typical thing, not just for Heidelberg but for the whole region along the Rhine. It's the only area in Germany where it grows abundantly. It actually, collecting chestnuts in the forest is kind of a rite of passage for newcomers to Heidelberg. Firethorn, quite a tasty stuff, quite popular in some parts of North America, but until a couple years ago I didn't know that it's edible. It grows everywhere in Europe, but as an ornamental, but I didn't know that it's edible. Aronia or Zorbaronia. Oh, here, nightshade with unripe berries. This is the black nightshade. In some cultures people will even eat the unripe berries, but they are disgusting and also really poisonous. So a rule of thumb for nightshades is, well, don't eat any nightshade you are not familiar with, and if you want to live a very risky life, another rule of thumb is eat only nightshade fruits if they are completely ripe. Here's some kiwis I foraged along the Teachers College in Heidelberg. Some Kiwi Berries, this is a brownish variety. Different nuts here. The walnuts are very small due to the drought. This is Manchurian Walnut, Juglans manchurica. They seem to have a little bit less problems with the drought. An almond, or rather a peach almond, in the Mediterranean it's being used as rootstock, but here they use it mostly as an ornamental. This is a tree hazelnut. Here you can see the hazelnuts inside, and it doesn't come from a very exotic place. It's a European species too. Very rare, yellow yew. Normally yew fruits are bright red. This is a yellow variety. Hawthorn, some sort of, something like the local wild hawthorn. It's already soft and quite edible. Not as tasty as some cultivated exotic hawthorns, but good enough. Some ornamental apple, nobody knows what this one is. Kalina, the symbol of Ukraine, and yeah, also of Poland and Russia. Yeah, those three countries have this beautiful plant, kind of like a national symbol, and I guess Belarus also, because it's in the middle between all those countries. Here's some other hawthorn, very small fruits. I guess it's just as edible. Yeah. Acar pseudoplatanus. You can see the big fruits here. Acar pseudoplatanus is not only the best maple in Europe for making maple syrup, not as good as some American maples, but the best one we have here. It also seems to be the best one for eating its fruits. Oregon grape or Mahonia. This you should probably boil before you eat it, because the seeds seem to be toxic when uncooked. Due to the drought, even Rosa rugosa, which has fruits the size of a small apple, now has just fruits the size of a small cherry. Those are tiny compared to the normal size. Yeah, I found some late figs. Good stuff. Ginkgo. I don't like the fruit so much. They smell and taste of puke. Those are not completely ripe, so no smell yet. And here I found a couple Ginkgo nuts from last year. Actually, in some of them there were even still edible seeds. So it's another of those trees where you can basically harvest the harvest of 2 years in one day. Quite interesting. Here the service tree. That's what they look when they are almost ripe. Already edible, but still a bit tart. That's what they look when they are really ripe and tasty. Wonderful. Here's some other ornamental apple. Maybe at this stage it will still be kind of crisp. The sandthorn or sea buckthorn was hit hard by the drought. Funny for a plant which is used to grow on sand dunes along the sea. So I just brought a branch with one single berry. Normally you would pick them by the handfuls. Here a Poncirus trifoliata, the only orange which can grow comfortably in our climates. I've never seen any frost damage on it here in the Rhine Valley. In some more exposed areas of Germany, yes, but not in the Rhine Valley. Here's some small ornamental rose. I don't think I would eat those, they are just too small. I would rather stick to, this is something of the canine group, those of decent size, so you can eat around the itching powder. Or I would stick to the Rosa rugosa, especially when it's 20 times the size of those here. What have we got here? Some other sorbus. I think this could be Sorbus intermedia. Yeah, the fruits basically dried up and not of top quality. Most of them already fell on the ground half ripe. Edible, but nothing special. A fruit you can forage all year round in Germany, in all 12 months, is this here, Cotoneaster horizontalis. There are some much more prolific cotoneasters grown in Germany, but they have very bitter fruit. They have big fruits growing in big bunches, basically like the Kalina growing in big bunches, but they are just as bitter as the Kalina. So these small things, they are more work. They taste like a boring apple, but the boring apple you can forage throughout the year. Here's another barberry. Maybe Berberis hematocarpa. Not so sure. Some oak acorns. Am I gonna eat those? No, but I plan today. No, I plan this year to make a big trip to a botanic garden with a lot of different oak species and do a taste comparison of a lot of different oak species. I hope I'm gonna manage to do this. The bladder nut. Quite a lot of bladders on the ground, but very few nuts. Here is one of those. Here we have the rowan, another very useful fruit which you should cook or prepare in some other way before you eat it. The seeds seem to be toxic in the raw state. I could have foraged a couple kakis, but they were just as unripe as those lotus plums. So I mean big full-size kakis, the East Asian kakis. But I left them on the tree. I foraged some of the small lotus plums, which are just as unripe. There will be weeks or more probably months before those are properly edible. Some German medlar, also not ripe enough, but the invasive parrots ripped it off the tree. I think I had a lot of other things. Let me see in the pile with the edible stuff what we can find. Maybe I forgot something. This is one ginkgo seed next to half a ginkgo nut. Definitely from last year. Oh, okay. No, it is actually a small ginkgo nut, and no, it's not edible anymore. You can still see the starch, but it's not good anymore. Pity. You can harvest those nuts in spring when the puke-smelling fruit is gone, but I hope you can harvest them throughout the autumn. Well, here we have the tree hazelnut, which I already showed to you. One tree which I couldn't forage today or probably this year, but I'm very sad about it, is the checkers. Let's see. Here are the leaves, look like a checkerboard. And the fruits, tasty, really wonderful fruits which you can eat throughout the winter, but not this time. It seems that the drought hit them too hard, so no checkers for me this year. This is really sad. More aronia, more. I think this is more or less all. Well, here is the here is the fruit of the chestnut. So the chestnut is not a fruit, it's a seed. The seed is what we eat. I guess that's more or less all, folks. Here another ginkgo nut. Just as rotten, unfortunately. No ginkgos today. Yeah, this is more or less what I foraged today, folks. As I said, I don't eat such a diverse diet every day, although I'm trying to forage as many things as possible. But I hope I gave you a couple ideas. Just don't get poisons, don't eat anything which is dangerous. For example, this beautiful yew. The fruit is tasty, but the seed and the leaves are deadly. So, please comment what you are foraging in Germany or in your area in October. I would be really curious where I should go and forage next. Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot of fruit videos from the beautiful and not yet very autumn-like city of Heidelberg. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.